So I just want to bring to your attention a few points about inoculating these compost windrows like this, which come from our duck sanctuary. So there's quite a bit of resource here. There's effort, there's poop, there's hay, there's green sawdust, there's grit, granite grit, and it's a very rich environment with both minerals and nutrition and charma, who you can see. Whenever I pull a little bit of the surface away, there's also an amazingly rich community of red worms known as compost worms, which generally they can't survive cold temperatures, but because of the piles, and you can see, I'll show you the length of these windrows. They're about 30 feet long, or more like 20. There's a worm zone in the middle of them because they're still in active aerobic composting process. So there's warmth where the worms retreat to, and then in the spring, summer, they come back out to the surface. So that's one benefit. So there's basically a lot of worm castings in this pile. There's, which is all natural and endemic to this ecosystem. We didn't add them. What we're doing now is, you can see this little ridge that I've dug along the lower edge of this 1-year-old pile. And this was piled here in October of last year from compost that had been gathered over the course of the summer. So some of the bedding is from May, some of it's from July, some of it's from August. But nevertheless, it's well on its way, and there's endemic moisture to it. You can see there's a wetness. And this is where I'm putting King Stropharia sawdust spawn, which I purchased from Field and Forest. You can establish this on your own land with one block like this and some nice hardwood wood chips. And then you can put those hardwood wood chips that have been myceliated and spread them around your property. You don't need to purchase this each time. Purchase the spawn. So you can see how many windrows there are here. And what we're trying to do is achieve a very conscious process of decomposition that also offers a yield. So come to my attention thanks to Sean and sharing a comment from Paul Stamets. King Stropharia or wine cap mushrooms are very good at remediating E. coli, for one thing, and they're also very good at consuming nematodes that tend to harm root crops in annual systems, or if you're trying to grow root crops. Nematodes can make those little holes and those little kind of grooves inside of a root. Well, King Stropharia mushroom can help prevent that. And so we are growing roots in these compost piles, in the older ones. So this is a 1-year-old compost pile I'm putting the Stropharia spawn into. You can see in the distance there are many. And the older ones, we've planted root crops, we've planted pumpkins, and we're going to also plant corn. We did not put Stropharia spawn in those older ones. And these newer ones, which there are 1, 2, 3, and this is the third right here. It's a tiny one. We are going to inoculate with Stropharia so that they can thrive and start to colonize the pile. And you'll notice that the edge here is where I made this groove, where I access the already moist area, which is going to nurture the spawn. It's going to be very easy to come and add a layer of hardwood wood chips to this edge to feed those spawn, to feed the mycelium as it develops. So next, we're going to plant where the nutrition is appropriate. We're going to plant pumpkins in little pockets. We're going to dig little pockets and little holes in this pile and plant pumpkins to generate, to build the leaf structure and shade and add moisture to and protect the moisture in the pile. Our ducks love to eat pumpkin leaves. You can make leaf protein concentrate from the pumpkin leaves. We eat the seeds from the pumpkins. We plant a naked seeded variety of pumpkins and we make misos. We eat them raw. We make queso out of them, which is a liquid cheese using various Geotrichium, penicillium, and other cheese cultures. It's an amazing opportunity. So this is how we're looking to scale and stagger crops in these decomposing piles. And if you'll notice, the field here has also, it's not very rich soil. It has been skimmed to build the nearby road. So it's basically down to subsoil. So the reason we located these piles here was to add to the topsoil nutrition and to regenerate this little bite, this little field here. You can see the road here. This was completely skimmed. And we do have grasses, we do have goldenrod, we do have bedstraw, we do have a little bit of milkweed growing in here, but it's very thin and bony soil. So these piles will eventually become part of the soil profile, which is the goal, is to enhance the ecosystem. And while they decompose, to generate niches for root crops like salsify, like pumpkin, like burdock, like daikon, and like stropharia mushroom along the way, and to time it accordingly so that these can yield multiple benefits for the nutrition and the benefit of the entire community of life here, including Charma. Right there. Cha!